Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Basic Breakdown. I'm here in the filming studio at MassiveJoes headquarters with resident purveyor of the world's finest pre-workouts, Vincenzo.
What's going on?
What's happening, man? Guys, this Basic Breakdown is on a highly anticipated new reformulation of one of our most popular pre-workouts of all time.
Yeah.
From our good friends at Ghost Lifestyle. Legend V2. Vince, let's go, man.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So, from the top, we're looking at a 2-scoop serve, a 17-gram serve. So,
Yep.
big serve.
Big, as we've come to expect from Ghost.
And Ghost have changed it from the original 30 down to 25 serves per tub.
Ooh, so we're going
So,
down in
a bit of a change,
Okay.
which we have seen in some of their limited edition
Yep.
collabs as well. Most of those have been 25 serves.
This is true.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
We're going from, because it used to be 30, right? In the
Yeah,
original Legend,
30.
it was 30 down to 25. I think 20, really pre-workouts now is like 40 scoops, 20 serves.
Yeah.
Is kind of the standard. So Ghosts have gone 25 scoops, 25 serves. So still kind of above where
above
a lot
everything.
of pre-workouts are.
And they have upped the dosages, as you'll see in a minute. So,
Let's go.
L-citrulline, vegan fermented in the 4,000 milligram dose.
Good.
In that increased nitric oxide production.
Yep.
And a perfect dose.
No, it's
Really,
good. It's a good dose, man. Boosting nitric oxide through the arginine pathway.
Correct.
For those viewers who are particularly interested in how that all works.
Then we go into some beta-alanine in the 3.2 gram dose.
Good.
Which is a precursor to carnosine.
Yep.
Which is going to help reduce fatigue.
Yep.
And help with endurance.
Or boost muscular endurance, and that's a
Yeah.
full clinical dose there as well, Vince.
It is, yeah. Then we get into some nitrosogene, which is arginine paired with inositol and potassium silate.
Yep.
Yeah,
Silicate.
that's the one. Which is in there to increase nitric oxide production as well.
Well, it's interesting with this this nitrosogene is it actually increases the amount of excess nitric. It increases the amount of time that excess nitric oxide hangs around for. So
It
it's
does.
one thing to boost nitric oxide with something like a citrulline, but then your body tries to reach homeostasis, so it tries
Correct.
to like bring it back down. So including an ingredient like nitrosogene in there just kind of prolongs it. You know what it does, Vince? It prolongs the pumps, man.
It does.
It's a pump prolonger. That's what the nitrosogene is.
And from their studies, up to 6 hours after consumption, still
Good shit,
increase
man.
pumps.
And that's a full clinical dose as well.
It is. Then we go to something new, which is a Syn Active in the 50 milligram dose, which is the clinical dose for what they've recommended.
So this is interesting, Vince, because this is the first time we've ever seen this ingredient used in the supplement game. And it's a combination of two ingredients really. You've got your Panax, not a ginseng, which is ginseng. And then Rosa Roxburghi.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Night at the Roxburgh. What are we dealing with here, man?
So the ginseng in particular is, this has been shown to kind of increase VO2 max and endurance. The ginseng helps increase citrate synthase, which is going to help in the production of ATP. So therefore, it's going to help with VO2 max and endurance, essentially, with more ATP.
So it's another kind of endurance ingredient.
Yeah.
It's going to work synergistically with beta-alanine.
And then the other side of it, it was shown that it can help with the removal of old kind of damaged cells and replenish them with new cells. So in particular, muscle tissue when it's broken down, helping that with that recovery aspect.
Yeah, interesting. Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah,
Unique
something new.
ingredient, and that is the clinical dose, right? The 50
It is,
milligrams.
yeah, that's what they're recommending. I think there were some studies that went quite high,
Yep.
but that's what they're recommending from Syn Active.
All right.
L-tyrosine in the 1 gram dose, which is in there to increase the production of dopamine, your feel-good hormone, and make you feel good.
Yeah, it's a mood-enhancing ingredient,
It is.
and not a bad dose as well. You can tend to go pretty. Ideally, you want to be using N-acetyl L-tyrosine. It's more bioavailable, but the free-form L-tyrosine is okay. In that 1,000 milligram dose, we generally see anywhere between 500 to 2,000 milligrams. So kind of, smack bang in the middle there.
Then we get into taurine in the 1 gram dose as well, which is in there for electrolyte balance, hydration, can help with endurance, blood pressure, central nervous system support as well.
Absolutely.
So it does a lot of things, taurine. Then we get into your alpha GPC in the 300 milligram dose, which helps stimulate the formation of acetylcholine, which is going to help with mental focus.
Yeah, it's a stimulatory neurotransmitter that really kind of locks you in and puts you in that zone while you're training. Problem here, Vince, this is really the first ingredient we've come across in this formula that is kind of, I wouldn't say underdosed, but definitely towards the lower end of the clinical dosing range.
Yeah. I would like to see kind of 600 at least.
Yeah.
Especially seeming it's the only form in there.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad it's in there, nevertheless.
It's better than not being in there.
Exactly.
Right? Then we move on to
natural caffeine in the 250 milligram dose, and this is your main stimulant. They don't have a percentage extract, so either it's going to yield 250, or most of them, I think, from coffee bean around 98%. Yeah, so you're probably like 245.
And this is a big change, right? Because the original legend was caffeine anhydrous.
It was, correct.
It wasn't natural caffeine, and we're starting to see this. I mean, we're seeing this from a lot of supplement companies at the moment because regulations around stimulants pretty much worldwide, but probably here in Australia, we lead the way with we're the nanny state over here, so we lead the way with regulations that don't let us.
We ban it
We
first.
ban everything, right? But this is a trend that we're seeing, and to be honest, regulations aside, I'm not against it.
Neither am I.
Because I personally, I'm a big fan of natural sources of caffeine. I just think that it's a much cleaner energy source in terms of the actual effects compared to an artificial caffeine like a caffeine anhydrous. So I'm very happy that they've made that move from anhydrous to natural caffeine in this Legend V2.
The feeling of natural caffeine is just so much better.
It's just smoother and cleaner, and it's just good shit, Vince.
Then we get into some theobromine in the 100 milligram dose, which is a stimulant similar to caffeine, but can decrease blood pressure and increase mental alertness and cognition as well.
Not a fan of theobromine myself.
Waiting for that one.
Kind of redundant.
Well, it's there anyway, so.
It's in there.
Then we get into Ghost trademark ingredient. Well, not really, but it's in most of their products. So estrogen, 50 milligram dose, which is their standard dose, which is in there to help you absorb everything in here. And then we get into, I can't pronounce it properly, some Rowolfia root extract in the 1.5 milligram dose, which is essentially your himbine.
Yeah, which is going to cause all sorts of problems for us over here in Australia because we were talking about banned stimulants. That's one of them that we can't have in Australia. So I would imagine, from Ghost perspective, they're going to take that out, right? They have to take that out to get it to Australia. Internationally, I mean, it's fine in the US, it's fine in the UK, most of Europe, it's all good. New Zealand, I think, also banned himbine. So depending on what country you live in, you're going to either have this exact formula or a variation. I would think, knowing the formulators at Ghost, that they would take the Rowolfia, also known as your himbine, out and probably bump up the natural caffeine.
I reckon you'll see like a 275.
Yeah, maybe even
natural
300.
Caffeine. Yeah, something like that.
In there. And that's it, Vince.
That's it.
That's where we're at. So how does this formula stack up on paper, in your opinion?
Not bad. I would like to see something in there for kind of muscle power.
It's the
for me,
big gaping hole.
That's really what it's missing. Everything else is kind of touched on. Mental focus could be a little bit more alpha GPC.
Well, if you go through the 5 effects we look for in a complete stim-based pre-workout, right? The first effect is muscle pumps. Pretty well covered. You've got a full clinical dose of citrulline, full clinical dose of nitrosazine, some nice synergism. The pumps are going to be really good. You then go muscular endurance, more than covered. Full clinical dose of beta-alanine. You've got the Syn Active new ingredient in there. Plus you've got taurine in there, so your muscular endurance is going to be exceptional. Then you go into energy. Based on this formula, you've got natural caffeine, theobromine, and your himbine.
Would be quite good.
Would be quite good. We're going to assume that the your himbine free version is just going to have more natural caffeine and theobromine.
Even then.
Maybe even a different source of caffeine, we're not 100% sure, but then you still get a tick for energy, right? It's a good energy blend. You then move on to mental focus and mood. So, increasing feeling of well-being, mental focus, probably half a tick there. You're probably not going to give it a full tick because your alpha GPC is towards the lower end, your tyrosine's kind of smack bang in the middle. There's no huperzine A, there's no source of L-DOPA or anything like that, so you probably get half a tick. And then finally you go muscle power, you get no ticks because there's nothing for muscle power.
Correct.
So based on, if you were to score it out of 5, based on the 5 effects we look for in complete stim-based pre-workouts, it's probably a 3.5.
Yeah.
On paper. Vince, talk to me about flavors, price, availability. Where are we at?
Flavors, they've slowly been dropping them.
Yep.
So peach and blue raspberry, I saw, I think, were the first 2 confirmed.
Yep.
I've seen on their Instagram they dropped, these will probably be US only, but they're Sonic Cherry Limeade due to the licensing. And then they did their SPK, so Sour Patch Kids Red Berry as well. which licensing was only in US as their
and they Ghost tend to use those same flavors, but just drop the trademark for international markets, depending on trademark laws and licensing and that sort of thing. But we could expect to see Legend in probably 4, 5, 6 plus flavors really once they're kind of all rolled out. But this is how companies generally do it. They'll drop a couple and then drop another one and then limited edition, and then the limited comes into the range, and
Ghost don't fuck around with flavors
but Ghost flavors are all good. So I don't think I've had any Ghost anything that was bad.
No,
neither. In terms of flavors. Price, availability.
Don't know the pricing. I'm going to assume probably $69.95 still.
Yeah.
Same as our old one with 25 serves.
Yeah.
But that's an assumption.
Yeah, you would think it's going to be, based on the formula, based on how Ghost generally price their products in the Australian marketplace, at least $69.95 to $79.95, I think is where it's going to sit. Availability?
The summer in the USA, I believe, is when they're planning to launch it.
So that's like 3 months from the recording of this video.
Yeah.
Would be US. And
we'll probably see it towards the end of the year.
I don't know, man. Ghosts have been pretty good with like the worldwide launches now. So,
True.
And this is why they kind of drop things 3 months out, is they get all the ducks lined up so that they can launch not just in the US, but Europe, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Asia, all over the place at the same time. So my hope would be that if it's launching summer in the US, it's going to be winter here in Australia.
Yeah, I don't know, because they said US only on their posts.
Winter is coming, Vince. Fingers are crossed.
Yeah, I hope so.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
That's it.
Before I tell the viewers to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the Massive Joes YouTube channel. Turn your post notifications on whatever device you're watching this video on, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to all these new editions of Basic Breakdowns. That is Basic Breakdown on the all-new Ghost Legend V2. Until next time, where we come to and from, Vince.
MassiveJoes.com.
Stay massive. Thank you for tuning into this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the Massive Joes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.